John, commiserations doesn't seem like the right word. Just before we talk about the game itself, what's your overriding thoughts after that?
I think it's really difficult to take, to tell you the truth. I think the amount of effort, hard work, quality play that the players put in, I think sometimes you get what you deserve and sometimes you don't. And I thought we deserved something out of that game without a shadow of doubt. But I'm immensely proud of what the players have done. You know, we were down to the last 18 players, and 2 of them were carrying injuries. You know, one's played a full 80 minutes with an injury, and that's the type of spirit, resolve, resilience that you want in a squad. And we're seeing it in bucket loads at this moment in time with this Widnes Vikings team. So I'm immensely proud, but you can't believe how good that I am.
I can sense the disappointment in your voice, John, and in your face. The cards were stacked against you this afternoon, really, with the Burr squad that you had against the side who were second on merit in the table, but you matched them every single inch of the way.
Yeah, they were really first class. I mean, they really were. I thought that first half, I think that's as good as we've played, because as you rightly say, you've got to measure yourself as well against the quality of opposition, and they've got some very good players in the Featherstone Rovers side, but ultimately just things went against us, 50-50s, and you know, it's difficult to explain when the players have played so well.
There were spells there, the big reputations in that Featherstone side were putting the pressure on your team near their own line, especially just before half time, and they stood up. The youngsters stood up to those big reputations.
They did. Well, I thought there was one case when they broke free, and you know, we'd got a prop forward who chased them down. He worked so hard to chase them down, and then you're thinking, well, are they going to score this next set? Well, no, because our players went back there, they regrouped, they organised themselves, and then they just kept working and working and held them out. And I think that's the spirit and the resilience that we're trying to develop, and it appears that we are developing. And if that continues, it's not only good for the rest of this season, to finish this season on a high, it makes it very exciting for next year as well. But you know, you have to deal with the here and now, and it's pretty difficult.
I understand that, but the time you've had in the game, John, I think you're going to tell me that, you know, in a couple of days when you reflect, there'll be the positives that will come out of this, surely, in the next couple of days.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, in fact, you've just reflected what I've told the players, because you know, they've sat in there and they didn't just want to compete with Featherstone, they want to beat Featherstone. And there's that element of disappointment in there, but I agree with you. We can say, you know, look at the steps forward that we've taken recently, and look at how well we're playing, and I still think we can play better than that. And you know, when lads are getting an opportunity like young Spedding today, he was magnificent today, and he's had to be very patient. He hasn't moaned, he hasn't groaned, he's trained really well, and then he's gone out there and he's taken his opportunity to give me further headaches when we do get players back, which I'm absolutely delighted about that.
You talk about effort and resilience. Every single player that went up to the field today, but a little word about Liam Bent, because he's coming to this game when he's had a bit of adversity, not a little bit of adversity, off the field, John. You know about that?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I've spoken to Liam at length and on numerous occasions this week, and it was up to him whether A, he came training, and B, whether he played, because obviously his stepfather passed away and he was very close to him. He wanted to come training because there's that element of normality, and obviously he likes being around the players, and he wanted to play. And I said to him actually after the game, as in front of all the players, that if his stepfather was looking down on that, he would be immensely proud. And I can't speak highly enough about the kid.
Just 2 more questions, John, if I will. And one of them, I noticed at the hooter that Brian McDermott came across you. He came straight over to you. He had a long conversation. It's between you and him, but I don't know whether you want to share anything with it.
No, I think it's a personal one, is that? But I think Brian realised that we played well. Let's put it like that.
And finally, my final question is that on Friday before the game, you said if the fans turn up, get behind us, play their part. And I want to just bring you back to one particular part of the game. They just got their noses in front, Featherstone, right? And we went to restart the game. The players placed the ball, and the stadium rose up. And it said, come on. Did you sense it yourself?
You certainly did, yeah. And that's exactly what we want. And I'm sure when the fans see the effort and the work that the players are putting in, they can respond to that and they can feel proud of them and they can get behind them. And I'm pretty certain that's what they did. And yes, you could sense it. I mean, you know, it's when the hairs on the back of your neck raise up, don't they? And as a player, when it's been a very warm day as it's been today, and when it's been a very high tempo game as it's been today, it does help you. And I think you could tell it helped them because well, they've played great for 80 minutes, haven't they? And I think the fans have responded, and I think they appreciate it also.
And when it calms down, John, you'll be ready to go with your players again next week?
Yes, we will, yeah. I think we just need to, you know, go home, put our feet up, as you say, reflect, analyse the game, perhaps have a couple of beers, and then, you know, we go again.